Only one. All right. We have a wonderful. Yes. Okay.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, most distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Pragati. A warm welcome to you all to our 462 meeting. The mission of a Toastmaster Club is to provide a positive and supportive learning experience in which members are able to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Before we start the meeting, here are some few reminders. I request all the members to keep your mobile phone switched off or keep it in silent mode. The theme of our term is enriching your journey towards excellence. I thank you all for attending this meeting. It's now time to welcome our President Toastmaster Sukumar Swaminathan.
Thank you, Madam Sergeant at Arms. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. So on this lovely day, I call meeting number 462 to order. We learn amongst ourselves, but we learn more when we have new people amongst us. There are quite a few new people who were already guests. They are going to be members. So, dear new members, your time is going to come. However, we have a guest in midst of us. So, may we know your name, who brought you to WMC Toastmasters, and a couple of lines about yourself.
So, my name is Abdul Sajid, and I'm doing BBA online. And I came here, like my father's friend actually already came here with the son. So the son had very great experience from this Toastmasters club, and he shared this experience with me. So I thought it would be like really nice if I come here and if I get good skills for communications. Actually, I have the problem of stage fear, so I mean, my parents told that you should really attend this program, so you can improve this stage fear.
Welcome. Where is that friend of yours? He didn't come.
He's in India.
He's actually my friend's. He's my friend's son.
Awesome. Great.
Long time.
Welcome to WMC Toastmasters, sir. Madam Vice President Education, I think the agenda is looking a bit topsy-turvy today. All right, so I stated the fact. So what are we going to do? Are we going to, is there any changes?
All the road, yes. And,
No, we have put ourselves out of the meeting towards the end because there was a scheduled district meeting that is happening currently. But we decided that this meeting is more important than that. So, so the change there is Murli Udayakant will be doing his VP membership role, and I will come back on the president's role at 18:30 during the distribution of awards. So that's one change. We are expecting a couple of members to join us. So we might be putting, we will be putting the member induction ceremony after the education session. After the education session. All right. So, can I request one of the members to propose these changes, please? Thank you, sir. Propose change. And can I request a member to second the change? Thank you, Toastmaster Owen. Thank you very much. So this is a season of seasons. Netflix has seasons. Movies now have seasons. Avengers have some 14 installments that has been releasing from a very long time. Ponniyin Selvan, a Tamil movie recently released. It is in 2 parts. So anything larger than life and anything good nowadays has seasons, apparently. I don't know when our international contest will have season number 1 and season number 2. So that the whole world is into seasons and we are all in seasons. I am going to also do a part 2.
Because president again.
Now that's a tall order. I think even if WMC wants it, I think I will take the break. I'm not going to go to season 2 as a president. And I think we have the nominations committee chairman who's going to announce that very soon. However, what I'm talking about is the story of Betty Robinson. I need to do a part 2. How many of you remember Betty Robinson? I want to see if you guys were
Family.
Oh, exactly. God, okay. All right, so for those who are not here, Betty Robinson is this amazing character who won the first ever female 100-meter Olympics race. And she's still holding the record of the youngest 100-meter champion. And that was only her 3rd race. What an inspirational story. 2 years after the race, when she was accoladed from across the world and when life was best, when she was preparing for even bigger laurels in the 1932 Olympics, but she took a small break and she went on a flight adventure with her cousin. Ladies and gentlemen, the flight plunged into the hills and the flight crashed. When someone discovered Betty Robinson, she was in a state of death. The person who actually saved her took her to a mortuary. Luckily, sense prevailed and they did one last check to see that there was pulse. When she recovered, they said that she will never be able to walk again. Forget running, forget competing. She can never walk again. She missed the 1932 Olympics. She couldn't even go and see that. But to everyone's surprise, and to her own surprise probably as well, she did not give up. And she stood. She started walking. She started running. And by 1936, ladies and gentlemen, this lady was on the track representing the United States of America running again. No less than a wonder. All she did was believe. Her position was so critical, and you'll have to imagine this, after 4 years of therapy, she could not bend down on the tracks. You see, when you do on your marks, get set, go. There is a particular procedure. If you're unable to do procedure, you cannot run for the 100 meters race, even if you're the fastest human being. So she took part in the relay race. Guess what? USA won the game. For a person who could not walk, who was presumably dead, she came back from the near-death experience to win an Olympic medal. There are times in our life, ladies and gentlemen, where we believe that everything is over. Nothing is there. But it is in those moments that we need to pick up and just keep going. This platform where we are sitting here, ladies and gentlemen, is a 99-year-old platform, and people have come in, not out of despair, probably, not out of lost hope, but with the very small hope that we will be 1% better than what we were yesterday, and we will go on to become better from where we are. So we are all alive and kicking. And just like that, this organization has grown in over 160 countries, over 250,000 members, and a few of them who are going to join today. And with over 16,000 clubs. When Dr. Ralph C. Smedley dreamt about Toastmasters, he didn't fathom that this institution would grow so big. But all he did was give hope, and all of us at some point in time believe. We get hope in ourselves. Here we are. Maybe there is a Betty Robinson over here, if not in the Olympics, probably probably somewhere else. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Ralph C. Smedley, Toastmasters International. Digitally connected, physically disconnected. A very interesting, controversial topic. And it's the need of the hour, whether we debate this, or whether we retrospect this, or whether we talk about this. And to do this topic justice, today we have a gentleman who is a decorated officer in WMC Toastmasters. He has held multiple positions. And he always believes in being physically connected. Whenever I have spoken to him, more than speaking to him on the phone, he would say, come, let's meet over coffee. And thanks for all the lovely coffees. It's not that he gave it to me free and I'm to stay. But between Jufair and Adliya, we've had multiple coffee sessions, and I'm sure whoever has worked with the gentleman must have had similar experience. Ladies and gentlemen, when we are not in sync, we might take ages, but when we are in sync physically, it just takes a few moments. And who better than Toastmaster Owen Krasta to tell us all about it? Ladies and gentlemen, over to you, sir.
I thought that applause was for me.
That's a
Very
surprise. All right, great.
First for you.
Toastmaster.
In math.
As per the agenda, I was supposed to start at 4:40, and I was relaxing over there, all of a sudden, president surprised me. Okay, today's theme, let's talk about the theme. Before that, thank you, much President, for such a wonderful presentation, introduction. And definitely we'll have more copies. Before we begin with today's theme, WMC Toastmaster Club is one of the pioneers in Toastmastering in this island. This club was started way back in 2003 with A.J. Jones as the sponsor.
Yes.
A.S. Jones, okay. A.S. Jones as the sponsor and Matthew Oman as the mentor and Dr. Babu as the founder president. Give a round of applause to Dr. Babu. When he arrives. So we are talking about today's theme, digitally connected, physically disconnected. Yes, we are in this social media era. Definitely, we are also connected with each other. So we are disconnected.
person sitting over far across the world can connect east coast to the north, to the west coast, they can connect. It's a button that's required, you just click and you are there. So you can connect, you can have a video conference, you can have a chat, you want to talk to some person, you want to follow that person. That's what we keep doing it. So I've just mentioned about it's what do you feel? For me, I feel at times it become a number game. Social media is all about we post some sort of a post in Facebook or Insta or some other medium, and then suddenly we expect people to like it or comment it, and all. We always look for those numbers. In return, if someone else posts it, then we keep liking it and commenting it so that we will get those numbers back, the likings back. This is like it's a transitional these days. All those kind of reactions, comments, and follows. We are more worried about those things than the reality. Basically, there's a person sitting next to us. We don't talk to that particular person. Don't even ask what's happening, but we are more bothered about what's happening in the social media. So that's where I thought of coming out with this particular topic and shedding some light on this topic. And also catching up with someone becomes synonymous with scrolling through their feed. Just you go and check anything, person, how is he or is she, just want to go through scroll, yes, the person is there. Otherwise, we know about those WhatsApp groups, someone or the other will send good morning message. So they want to make it sure they are alive and they're there, and we have to reach them out. So this is what happening these days, but we can't help it, but we have to live with it. And this is very good advantages as well with social media. It helps us to connect with people, otherwise personally would not have meet those people. But today we are meeting them through all those medias. Because I met one of my college friend after many, many years. It was Facebook. So through Insta, all this kind of media, it helps us to connect with people. That's the advantage, but it all depends how we control the usage. Okay. Let me introduce the members of the team today. We'll start with the grammarian, even though the order is timer, I'll go with the grammarian. We have a dashing counselor of Cavaliers as grammarian today. He's man of less words but of deeds. We have seen him nurturing the kids and molding them as a better human being. And today he is going to tell us about the grammarian role. And in his own words, he enjoys being connected digitally with everyone. Since knowing the inevitable consequences of that, he ensures that he does not physically disconnect. Let's hear from our grammarian word of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Owen. When Toastmaster Owen asked me about this theme, I was doing an introspection and saying, whether we really need to be digitally connected and physically connected to someone to feel emotionally connected. I don't think so. I still remember that connection which I have with my first crush. That's why I'm saying that. Okay. So coming back to the role, there's a saying, grammar is the grave of language. Try to save the grammar, keep it invariable, the language will be dead. Grammar forms the axis of the language, and it is the basis of learning and mastering a tongue. But too much assent on the rules of a language kills its spontaneity. And it is truly embraced by the social media by having short forms for every word imaginable. Having said that, before we bring in spontaneity in any channel, be it singing, playing a music, or skating, or even public speaking, we need to be thorough with its basic rules. Once we have mastered it, we can bring in our creativity and spontaneity to make it more interesting. So we are here to practice speaking professionally and at the same time maintain this continuity. So today, as a grammarian, it is my duty to find the wrong usages of English and also to keep an eye on the good usage of the language. It's also my responsibility to introduce the word of the day. The word of the day is posted here. It is kindred. The adjective is alike in nature or character, a kindred spirit, or we can say a group of related individuals. To give you an example, Sukumar and I are kindred spirits when it comes to eating fish curry. Well, we will share with you also. I request everyone to use the word of the day. During the general evaluation, I'll give my report when called upon. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks, Panagalan. Our next is the R counter, and what to tell about this particular personality, pride of WMC, humor king, who always presents things in a unique manner. Let's hope today as well he's having something unique. In his own words, his parents are in India, his daughter is in US. Although they are physically disconnected, they are digitally connected because of internet. That's the beauty. You know, it's a bit of a paradox for everyone, good and bad. Both. Yes, she's a very good listener. So that we heard whenever he went up with his speeches, he's a very good listener. His wife says something, bring and he will end up bringing something else. So not over here, but I've seen him. He's really a good listener. So perfectly suits this role to take the challenge of our culture.
Hello, Toastmasters, and yes. Do you know who is the father of Aaz and Ums? It is Hindi film actor Shakti Kapoor. You know this dialogue. So today, in our meeting, I'm going to find out who is the Shakti Kapoor amongst us. Otherwise, today you are encouraging.
You're saying that we have to have all this done?
No comments, right? So today I'm gonna listen to your speeches and I'm gonna find out if you are using any filler words or sounds. Sounds like or filler words like okay, and so on. But these words or fillers, when you use in your speech as a part of your expression, they go very well with the speech. For example, when you say Bahari is like a pearl in the ocean. Now here I have used a repeated word, but that is enhancing my expression. So these are not the words which I'm going to count. Right? Overuse of these words is what I'm going to count today. Just to give you another example, if within last 5 to 7 minutes, our Toastmaster of the day has used the word 3 times.
It is disappointing. And the next one is timer. What to talk about this particular personality is a newcomer with Toastmasters, but he undertook big responsibilities right from the moment he joined the club. I guess within a day he was part of the ExCom. The next day he joined. Yeah. And also I've seen his management skills and organizational skills in family. Seen him running around and getting the sponsors and things. And definitely he's a social worker and he loves to mingle with people. I've seen him spending less number of time in social media as well. Said the poll, he's the one who's saying less than an hour he spends in social media.
Toastmasters include KPI.
Yeah, he's in this Thailand for past 19 years, salesperson by profession. He likes helping people, and whenever he finds time, he loves to play badminton. Timer, please tell us the kind of evening.
Dear fellow Toastmasters, I'm Gus. As a timer, I will count with formal speech, tabletop speakers, and evaluations. Today we have one small formal speech. It's 18 to 22 minutes. At 18 minutes, I will show the green light. At 20 minutes, I will show yellow light. At 22nd minutes, I will show red light. But they will continue with me until speaker 4 is finished. We have tabletop section, 1 to 2 minutes. 1 minute at green light. 1.5 minutes it's yellow light, and 2 minutes it's red light. And we have evaluation should be 2 to 3 minutes. 2 minutes with green light. 2.5 minutes with yellow light. 3 minutes red light. Until evaluation will be finished, red light will be continued. When I call upon the general evaluation, I will report the time to take and for each speakers. I wish all the best for speakers and for the player. Back to you.
If it is a very technological failure, you will show those brackets. Yes, with the color. This is what I was just talking about, the family time. Entire family, they're discussing, but they are not physically present, but they are all on their mobile phones. And also friends are meeting in one another click. You can see the friends meeting, and they are all as well. They are over there, but they are discussing. They are all on their own their phones. So there is some studies that is quite old data. I guess it must have gone up now. It's 2014. They've shown us 2006 to 2014. The young adults are leading social media usage, even though the elderly ones are also catching up in that matter. If you see the progression graphics, all of them are climbing up and up. Hopefully, I guess now they must have gone to the extreme limits. Social media is either a blessing or a curse, depending on how you look at it. On one hand, it basically connects the entire world, just a click of a button, allow you to communicate with whoever you want, whenever you may be, wherever you may be. But on the other hand, it pushes you down the rabbit hole of mindless scrolling, as it presents you with a highly curated version of other people's lives, as well as various clickbait content that could keep you on your phone for hours. Indeed, we live in paradox, aren't we? So to move to education session now. Today we have only one speaker. What to tell about that speaker is my mentor, and also we have excellent camaraderie working together at previous term. I guess we spent talking almost 2-3 hours in a week, I guess, on the phone or wherever we're meeting and what to do and all. So before introducing him, I would like to call upon his evaluator, TTM Rekha Uttam. Excellent human being, coach, mentor, HR professional. She's always there to help you. If somebody wants to get mentored, then she's the first one. Forget about the Toastmasters, even for Cavaliers. She's there mentoring and coaching. I'm truly grateful to know this fantastic personality personally. In her own words, a world filled more with acquaintances than friends, connecting digitally helps her to make more time for people I want to meet in person. She would rather type or send voice notes as than it saves her from having to talk. Silence is golden. I don't think so that is the case. Looking at her. personality. Did you read out them? Please read out the objective.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Good afternoon, Toastmasters, guests, and my speaker in particular. The speaker is attempting level 5 from the motivational strategies pathway, a keynote speech which needs to be delivered within 18 to 22 minutes. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice developing and presenting a longer speech. So the member will deliver an engaging keynote style speech. The speech may be humorous, informational, or any style the member chooses. The member should demonstrate excellent presentation skills and deliver compelling content. The speech is not a report on the content of the Prepare to Speak Professionally project. I wish the speaker the very best. Back to you, Toastmasters.
This man does not need an introduction in Toastmasters fraternity, because he's there in many places in Toastmasters. For this is the great knowledge and leadership skills. For me, he's already a distinguished Toastmaster, even though he's not. In his words, speaker loves to connect with his audience, not only physically, but also mentally and emotionally. He says his motto in public speaking is to connect with his listeners by touching their brain to make them think, by touching their soul to make them feel, and by touching their hands to make them act. It's like Gopal Das as a motivating speaker. So let's welcome Toastmaster Abdul Rahim with his speech titled, Don't Believe Everything You Think. Don't believe everything you think, Toastmaster Abdul Rahim.
Maybe just hold on a while. Let's check the slides. Right. So when Owen introduced me, I came here and I started speaking to you because this has been the practice for a long time. Actually, I made a break with the lecture quite a long time. No, we are not in good terms actually. So some speakers find comfort behind the lecture. I find discomfort behind the lecture. Not because I'm not saying this is wrong or this is right. Both are right actually. You're a TMOD or a general evaluator or a president is much better behind the lecture. But the difference is, I practiced this for many years. Whenever I was called to speak, I came here and delivered. Now I don't think much about the lecture. By repeated practice, so this has become a habit. Toastmaster Owen, my dear fellow Toastmasters, especially our new members and most honored guest, good afternoon. Well, what is habit? Can anybody define? By the way, I was reading a research article the other day, and it said that 50%, almost 50% of my dishes on a daily basis, and more than 90% of my actions on a daily basis, not my decision, not my action. It is programmed. It is out of habit that has been repeatedly done. Unconsciously, I'm doing. So I was astounded. So I said, let me discuss this with our fellow Toastmasters. So here I am today. I'll talk about a little bit about habits, some insights. Some of them I gathered from books like Atomic Habits, and some of my own observations and inputs today I'm going to share. As I was going back to the question, what is habit? Can anybody find that briefly in a sentence or two?
Something we repeatedly do.
Exactly, yeah. Yes, yeah, mechanical.
Recurring cycle.
Yeah, on autopilot, yeah.
When we get comfortable.
Correct. Exactly, yeah. And just like, when you go to, driving to your office, you sit in the car, you adjust the mirror, you put the seat belt, you turn the ignition, and you drive off. And you don't even realize that you have reached the office. You don't consciously think, okay, now I am adjusting the mirror, now I am putting the seat belt, now I am turning the ignition. You don't think, it just happens because years, probably decades of repeated action. So habits just is virtually ruling our life. Virtually dictating everything about our life. It's all about habits. Your current net worth, they say, is the result of your financial habit. Your knowledge today is the result of your learning habits. And your health today is the result of your lifestyle habit. Your weight today is the result of your eating habits. So how does the habits form? Did anybody want to come in? How does the habit form? As by repeated behavior, but how does it technically do? Is that
You need a motivation.
yeah, you need a motivation. At the same time, when you do something, it creates sort of a neural path in our subconscious mind. For example, if I wake up 7 o'clock in the morning, it creates a path. I wake up 4, 7 o'clock, first week, second week, third week, fourth week, 1 month, 2 months. The path becomes very strong, becomes like a highway. It's very easy to walk in that path because it's very comfortable. You know it. Now one day I want to wake up 4:30 because I want to go to the airport. Becomes a challenge because I have to create a new path. And a new path is unknown, strange. I don't know. I have to walk. That becomes a challenge. Every time I walk in the new path, it is always captivating the old path. It's always calling me to go back to the old path because it's so comfortable there. And I have to face the challenge and walk in the new path for another few weeks and months, and then another path is created. Now this becomes common. So that's how sometimes forming a new habit and sustaining it can be very challenging. Creating a path in the subconscious mind. And subconscious mind doesn't know what is good for other people and what is bad for them. Doesn't know. Subconscious mind doesn't know that waking up in the morning 5 o'clock and doing meditation is good for the brain. So let me encourage you doing that. It doesn't. It just, if I wake up 5 o'clock for a few weeks, it says, okay, every day you wake up and do meditation. Don't change. The moment I change to another path, create another path, and wake up 7 o'clock, after a few weeks, it will say, okay, wake up every day 7 o'clock, don't change. So subconscious mind is uncomfortable as far as change is concerned. And subconscious, the function of knowing bad or good for you is not the subconscious mind's function. It's the conscious mind's function. Unfortunately, subconscious mind is very far powerful than the conscious mind. That's why we need this rewiring and reprogramming, installing new good habits and uninstalling old habits. It's all about subconscious mind. Now, let's turn to the slides. Thank you. Now, today we'll discuss about how we can make habit easy for us to adopt. They say the most effective way to start any habit is not with a grand plan, with small, tiny action that you do on a daily basis. Every day you do small, tiny action. That is the most effective way. Sometimes small everyday acts seem unimportant. Why? Why?
No result.
Exactly. Very good. No result. You don't see the result immediately. 1% every day improvement, you see, you will end up after 12 months, 37% improvement. But you don't see the result immediately or instantly. If I say $1 per day, $1, nothing, come on, $1, what's $1? $1 a day. Or I smoke one cigarette a day, only one cigarette a day. After 12 months, I will be a millionaire, or I will have lung cancer. So that's the catastrophic or tremendous effect of small action done on a daily basis. Since, as Panamalam said, result is not seen, we seem to ignore the small acts. Why habits don't last? Yes, I think many of you will have a lot of answers. We start with the new year with the resolution. Okay, 1 week, 2 weeks, and the treadmill is closed. And then we go to the old lifestyle. What is the reason?
Physically connected.
Physically disconnected. Anybody else?
You're not consistent, then
Yeah.
it becomes lazy.
Yeah.
It's difficult to maintain that.
Yeah. This and also it's a result. Result also again. If I start an exercise regimen, I walk let's say 1 hour every day for 1 month. I don't see any change.
You all look for instant gratification.
Yeah, and 2 months no change, nothing happening. So what happens suddenly? Again, the old way is calling me. So easy to slip into the old habits. No change happening. This is not only with the good habits. Even if I have junk food, fried chicken, or pasta, or burger every day for a few weeks, I may not have heart attack and die. But when I do this on a daily basis for months and years, then slowly the adverse effect starts kicking into my kidney and my liver and my heart. So both ways it takes time. So nothing in life actually is overnight. Everything happens over time. Time is a huge factor. So we have to, the most important two qualities to adopt any habit and sustain it, I think, is one is patience. Second is discipline. Two most fundamental qualities. So that's the reason why. Now let's go to the next one. They say there is the process of habit is 4 ways: cue, craving, response, and reward. Cue. Let me just explain it with the example. Suppose your phone is ringing. There is a message. That is a cue. And immediately you have a craving to know what is this message. Third, you respond with opening your phone, unlocking it, and checking. Fourth, you get the reward of knowing what exactly is the message. So this how the habit is for this. In the queue, there is 5 parameters. Number 1, time. Number 2, location. Number 3, emotional or mental situation. Number 4, other people. And number 5 is preceding events. Let me explain. Time. Most habits, sometimes habits are triggered by time. For example, morning you have brushing. This is not in the noon time, morning time, toothbrushing. And in the evening time, probably before retiring to bed, you have probably prayers. That is triggered by time. Location. When you're coming back from office, you're retiring to your couch, and you're switching on the television and watch. Becomes a habit. So the location. Third, mental situation. You are stressed out and you want to get relief. So you reach out to alcohol or cigarette. Becomes a habit. Preceding events. You have lunch. After lunch, you usually have a sweet. Or after dinner, you have a cigarette. Becomes a habit. And finally, other people. Our friends may have good habits. You tend to pick those habits. Our friends may have bad habits. You tend to pick those habits. Good friends like Toastmasters, Panamalam. If you mingle with them, you will be kindred spirits. Yeah. So that's how it is. Now, let me share with you 3 very simple tips how we can make habits very easy. There are a few tips, but because of want of time, I'll just leave it 3 tips. Make it obvious. How to make it obvious? Make it visible for them. Because human vision is very powerful. They say in the receptors, among all receptors, you have 11 million receptors for the senses, out of which 10 million is for vision only. So vision is very powerful. So if you want to start a morning routine of walking, keep your shoes or your tracksuits, whatever it is, visible to be seen easily. When you wake up, you see it, so you're reminded. You want to read a book every day, one page. Keep the book handy, available, accessible. So you see the book and you're reminded. I remember my CEO died a couple of years ago, and we have a new CEO. And he joined a few months ago, and the first thing he did was, he had a cafeteria in the office, and we had this juices and sugary drinks and ice cream and stuff. So he told the office boy, remove everything. From tomorrow, bring only yogurt, bring only low-fat milk, bring only skim milk. Of course, the office boy will stop at everything. And the people came, the staff came, they were saying, oh my God, what's this now? Where is the ice cream? Where is the drinks? Where is the juice? They were complaining, cribbing, and but after a while, after 2-3 weeks, everybody is now having yogurt, skim milk, everybody is having low fat. They carry home, and the children also eating yogurt, because out of all the dairy products, healthiest is yogurt, curd. Even better than, even more nutritious than milk itself, because of the life culture and probiotics. So, it's because he made it obvious, he made it available, accessible, easy. So make it obvious, anything you want to start. For example, you want to eat apple a day. Don't keep the apple inside the fridge. Keep it on the table. So you will reminded. Make it attractive, temptation bundling. This is one exercise you can do by connecting your habit to something that you're already doing, which is enjoyable, right? Or which you must do. I think Roy mentioned something a couple of months ago when you were at TMOD. Can you just share that
Yeah,
about habit?
thank you. Toastmaster. Actually, I was referring my small habits, which is when I go to washroom, after my urination, I immediately drink a glass of water. So as you mentioned earlier, like I was, connecting that with my habits, cue, craving, response, and reward. So the moment I come out from the washroom, I feel thirsty. So I had to drink water.
Yeah.
So I drink a glass of water, so it was rewarding for me. So this habit started because of kidney stone. But after that, everything was fine. For years now, I'm part of this.
Great. Great. Thank you very much. So what he did is he connected the habit to something that he obligatory thinks, like going to washroom. Every time he goes to washroom, he's reminded of the water which he has to drink. I also did something like that. A couple of years ago, I bought a treadmill. So I thought treadmill is great. I can walk in morning, I can walk evening, anytime I don't need to expose myself to the sun. The previous I could sleep out of out of the excitement. Oh, tomorrow's treadmill is going to come. So they came and they installed it. And I got a new shoe and I walked for 1 hour, next day, 1 hour, third day, fourth day. After 6 days, there was 1 day gap. And again, walk 2-3 days, then 2-3 days here, 4 days here. After 2 weeks, I don't want to see the treadmill. And then I started hanging the clothes for right. So then after 3 weeks, I couldn't see the treadmill anymore because it was fully covered with clothes. So then 7-8 months ago, I sold it for less than half price. Of course, treadmill is gone, but I still need to walk. So what I did is I was reading Atomic Habits. So I said, what is that thing I love? So I love listening to audiobooks. So I said, okay, let me buy wireless earpod or earphone. I started listening to audiobooks and started walking. Now, 8 months, ladies and gentlemen, I am on track. I'm so excited. I think around 93 books I have listened in the last 8 months. So beautiful. And at night, I'm excited for tomorrow. One day, Ryan Tracy is speaking to me. Next day, Stephen Covey is speaking to me. Third day, Jack Canfield is. So it is, you can choose whom you want to listen to. So it's great because word by word books, not verbatim, and narrated by the author. It's free on YouTube. So it was great. So that's how you can tie what you love with what you want to achieve. Now make it easy. Make it easy, yes. That is because we all love to do easy things. Least effort things. And I think Brian Tracy wrote a book which is called Eat That Frog. Have you read? No. Eat That Frog, which means if you have 10 tasks, do the most difficult task first. And then generally what we do is we delay the difficult tasks and procrastinate and do the easy things. So easy, make it easy. How to make it easy? For example, now Kai has sent a message about writing articles, slice of life, right? Okay, I got slice of cake. Slice of life. So he's released this message on 1st May, and you want the article before 15th May. How can we do it? All of us are lazy, I know. We don't like to write, except probably Rekha, who is a natural writer. Yeah. I'm sorry, the new members, I don't know whether you may be passionate about writing, but I don't know. Others I know. So how can we do it? You can do, instead of writing 400 words article, write 10 to 12 lines every day for 15 days. 200 what article is ready on the 15th. So that's how you make it easy. Don't aim for, some people they aim for, oh, tomorrow I'm going to work for 1 hour. They work. And after a couple of days, they're inside the blank. So that don't do it. Start with a small aim, small goal. For example, tomorrow I'll work for 15 days, 15 minutes, and gradually escalate. Gradually. Tomorrow I will do meditation for 5 minutes, and gradually escalate. Make it simple, make it easy. Get on right. One of the most important thing is many people, when they do some exercise regimen, if there is a break 1 or 2 days, then they lose the momentum, they lose the enthusiasm, and they slip back to the old style. Remember, any exercise regimen, anything to do in life, business, new job, you will have its own bumpy ride. As you said, topsy-turvy, right? Because sometimes bend will be there. As they say, bend on the road is not the end of the road. So bend will be there, it will be zigzag. Somehow we have to gain the momentum to start and don't stop. Doesn't matter how slow you go, as long as you don't stop. So keep back on track. Well, that's right. Have you ever attended a workshop or a training session where it says how to get angry? Nobody, right? Or how to effectively smoke? Because it happens automatically. We don't need training for that. Yes, how to manage anger? Yes, you need training. So bad habits happen automatically because going down is always easy. You don't need much fuel. We just put the neutral and the car goes. But going up requires a lot of fuel, a lot of energy, a lot of power. It's always in life, going up is difficult. So, ladies and gentlemen, to conclude, habits are the most important function of our human life because they drive our life. And the better, faster and better we do, the much better. As Toastmaster Sukumar said, there is a season for everything, but for habit forming, there is no season. All right, so let us start immediately, not from today, from now. Small habits. Going to bed early, rising up early, devote at least half an hour, 30 minutes a day in the morning. Let's say 10 minutes for meditation, 10 minutes for exercise or cardio, 10 minutes for reading a book. 30 minutes for 20 actually. I reduced it to half, make it easy to start. 20 minutes, or sorry, 10 minutes reading, 10 minutes meditation, 10 minutes exercise will change, will transform our life because we are all in this comfort zone. Comfort zone is the most uncomfortable place to live with. You go to office, come back, spend time with family, watch TV, go back in the evening or in the weekend, spend the same friends with the same beliefs and everything. So how far? When you step out of the comfort zone, you enter the growth zone. In the comfort zone, nobody has achieved anything. So let us create that new path and step out of the comfort zone and create a new path which will take us to further heights. Because your mind will always say that you cannot do it, it's very difficult, or in your, it's very difficult, very tough. Don't believe everything your mind says. The mind is the default thinking of our mind is always negative. You have an explosion outside, and suddenly we think it's a bomb. We don't think it's a celebration. So mind thinking is always negative. Let us overcome it and let us start with new habits. All the best.
Thank you. Very inspiring speech. I gave up smoking now. Okay, so as per the agenda, change, we're going to end it. Before that, I'd like to, we have one more guest with us. And specific, you are not introduced him, I guess, he came later, I believe. Could you please introduce yourself, your name, and how come?
I'm one of the Toastmaster about this, so everything about Toastmaster clear about it, no need to.
Okay, just tell about yourself, where are you? You're currently Toastmasters.
I created from University of Bahrain Media, Digital Media. I think first one is back to you.
Thank you. Well. As IPL season going on and our VP membership is in the full form for floor hitting and he's inducting today, it's a good news for us, electing 4 members, three members. Okay, call upon our VP membership to do the honor.
This is one time where I time to and enjoy the
Good habits.
good habits. To me,
Keep this going.
the small steps. This has been interesting. We have 3 new members who are joining us today. And I will follow your names. You could please stand. I'll start with Subramanian. And then we have Padmashree and Dr. Survilla. As part of the protocol, we normally have at Toastmasters. Can I ask the son of the dance to talk about for a minute?
You guys are being spotted out.
As customary, we ask the members if anybody has any objection.
No, not at all. There's no break.
We can stand here. Fellow Toastmasters, it is now our duty and privilege to induct these 3 new members into WMC Toastmasters. This is an important occasion, both for these new members and for our club. These individuals have come to Toastmasters seeking to improve their communication and leadership. And we now have the opportunity to help them learn, grow, and achieve. We have all 3 members. Obviously, then we have Sumila and the Suruli. You are joining a worldwide organization that help more than 4 million people to learn communicate more effectively. As a member of WMC Toastmaster Club, you will benefit from the proven program of self-development. You will become part of an outstanding group of people who are dedicated to helping one another in the spirit of sharing and enjoyment. Madam, VP membership, VP education. Have you had a chance to speak to all of them
Yes,
and go to assign mentors?
yes, I will just read out the members. Toastmaster Padmashri will be mentored by Toastmaster Yashodan Abhyankar. Toastmaster Sudhila will be mentored by Toastmaster Punandalam. And Toastmaster Subramanian will be mentored by Toastmaster Abhyankar.
Then we have all the mentors, please. And the person. Thank you. So, they are your mentors who will guide you. Thank you. Membership in this club and in Toastmasters International is a privilege that carries with it many rewards. Yet, it also places certain obligations upon you. We are a group of people who work together to do things we could not accomplish alone. Our collective obligation is to grow and improve ourselves and to share our knowledge and experience with fellow members in a spirit of enjoyment. This means you must work diligently towards your own self-development. Evaluate other speeches in a spirit of support and sharing. Assist the club in reaching its goal, remain positive, and keep a smile on your face. We ask you, new members, to dedicate yourself to personal growth, to share this great gift with fellow members, and to help keep those parts of the club strong and dynamic. Now I'll read out what your affirmation will be, so you can read out. I,
Padmashri,
will have all do it together. So you just repeat your name and then all after the first one, I'll read out.
I, Sulbila,
I, Subramanian Virabhadran,
In the presence of my fellow members,
in the presence of my fellow members
the WMC Toastmaster Club,
of the WMC Toastmasters Club,
make this firm obligation
make this firm obligation
to attend meetings regularly
to attend meetings regularly
and to prepare fully for each assignment,
and prepare fully for each assignment,
to apply myself
to apply myself
to the projects outlined
to the projects outlined
in the Toastmaster Education Program,
in the Toastmaster Education Program,
participate actively
participate actively
in club activities,
in club activities,
to evaluate others
to evaluate others
in a positive,
in a positive,
constructive manner,
constructive manner,
to build open,
to build open,
friendly relationship
friendly relationship
with fellow members,
with my fellow members,
and to bring
bring
other new members
other new members
into the club,
into the club,
so
so that
they can also gain
they can also gain
the benefits of Toastmasters.
the benefits of Toastmasters.
Or have the members please stand up. Repeat our pledge. We, the members of WMC Toastmasters, pledge to support you in your quest for self-development, to provide you with positive, helpful evaluation, to maintain friendly, supportive atmosphere, give you opportunities to help others, and to make your Toastmaster membership a rewarding and fulfilling experience. Now we all can have a seat.
Where's the applause?
I invite the president, Toastmaster Baker, and our VP Education, the family members,
No, the mental.
Yeah.
Mentorship.
the mentors, please.
To take photos, yeah. We have six.
Yes. Please, run.
You go. Thank you. Congratulations to all of you members, and that I think I have achieved my goal as well.
Yes.
Can I hand over the control back to Jensen?
You. That was good. Thank you. That was crisp and we are on time, but we have left out one formality. Call upon Mr. President to conduct member induction, nomination committee announcement.
I just be doing the.
No.
Following it. You see, people who wear glasses have a problem. We get so comfortable and going by the speech that Toastmaster just gave. We get so comfortable wearing glasses in this habit that we forget that at some point you cannot see. So today I actually jumped a line. I did not see that, after the member induction, there is one line called nominations committee announcement. So going by what you said, I think I will go and get my readings redone. It's time for a change. For the benefit of new members and guests, nomination committee is a group of Toastmasters within our club who come together to bring the new leadership to reality. They nurture, they talk, and the committee actually identifies who are the leaders for the next year. Now, Toastmaster term is typically for 1 year. And the term starts in July and ends in June. So this term is retiring in June, and the leadership identification is the primary responsibility of the nominations committee. And Toastmaster Abdul Rahim is the nominations committee chairman. So I would request Toastmaster Abdul Rahim as the head of the committee. Mr. Chairman, if you can come over and make your announcement. Thank you.
President, people of Toastmasters and most honored guests. Well, in continuation to what Mr. President has said, we are just nominating the team, especially for the benefit of new members. It's just a nomination, and in fact, all members in good standing of this club have the opportunity to assume or take up any leadership position. For that, the EXCOM will be organizing an election in June, where you can contest for any position, leadership position of 7 positions that you desire. Right now, as our duty as nomination committee we have spoken to members and we have empowered them to take up the roles, and some of them have voluntarily came up and they have agreed to serve our club and take it to greater heights from July 1st to June 30th, 2023-24. So before I announce, may I request Pragati to note down the names in the absence of Norman. So, ladies and gentlemen, for the position of Surgeon at Arms, our candidate is Toastmaster Kalyani Atul Deshmukh. Let us hold the applause until we finish all the nominations. Toastmaster Kalyani for Surgeon at Arms. For the position of Secretary, our candidate is Toastmaster Pragati Kumar. Toastmaster Pragati as Secretary. For the position of Treasurer, our candidate is Toastmaster Waqar al-Mulk. Toastmaster Waqar as Treasurer. For the position of Vice President Public Relations, our candidate is Toastmaster Emmanuel Williams. Emmanuel as VPPR. For the position of Vice President Membership, our candidate is Toastmaster Royce Carrier. Toastmaster Roy as Vice President Membership. And for the position of Vice President Education, our candidate is Toastmaster Nubin Ansari. Toastmaster Nubin as Vice President Education. For the position of President, Nomination Committee nominates Toastmaster Owen Krasta as the President of WMC Toastmasters Club for the year 2023-2024. Congratulations, and I must thank Toastmaster Sukman, our President, for his extraordinary support. Without your support, probably would have struggled, especially in fixing up key positions. Thank you so much for that. And thank you, DGM Manoj Pandey, who is not here, my team member, and Toastmaster also for their support. And thank you all for giving us this opportunity. And over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you. I guess it's time for the break. And the photo. Let's gather for the photograph.
I think we can.
Yeah,
Same, we do. Sorry? Yeah, the sun is right behind, so I think maybe we do the opposite.
That's it.
Yeah. There's an empty chair. उसके बाद yes, no one says it's religiously put it that was absolutely fine.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Even though I'm scared of you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. Attention, please. Let's start. Okay. Let's start. Oh, okay.
For them. Yeah.
About going back to the theme, yeah, I guess we are back on time. Thanks for that. And going back to the theme, I was just discussing outside how the social media works and how these days Facebook. Couple of months back, I received a friend invitation from a person I knew. I personally know him, but not acquaintance kind. And then all of a sudden, that one person sent me an invite, and then we are connected. Then I met him physically in a crowd, he didn't recognize me. This is what most of the time we're friends, and we physically we don't know. I guess it's first the case with many of you. This is what that part of the social media. And into the theme, I've read the poll for like 3 questions I've asked, and thank you for your support. Most of the members they've answered. And here is the statistics. Majority feel that these days more people are digitally connected than interconnected. Generally, who are socially connected spend less time online. I've noticed that with Dr. Babu and Rubin and all, they're socially involved in lots of activities and all, and they're
That's different from social media.
social media. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Social media, the definition has changed.
Yeah.
Social access. And I guess this was the better control because many people said they are ready to go off the grid for more than 7 days. So that's fantastic. And only few people, yes, definitely, because there is some sort of because your work demands this kind of connections, I guess, Kumar and some people are there involved, Rahim and all this, less than a day, they cannot. So that's obviously, and I would like to have an opinion because agree and disagree, there is only one person who disagree with this. We know that, we know that person. So, response to Kumar, what is your thought on this particular?
Your courtroom, sir.
Yeah,
The reason what I honestly felt is whether it is a physical medium or whether it is a non-physical medium, let's say digital, you specifically is a digital.
Yes.
And digital does not necessarily mean social media. And the other aspect of it is how present we are in the situation. Whether we are digital or physical doesn't matter. We might be 1,000 miles apart. My brother lives somewhere, my friend lives somewhere. It's life. It's the nature of work today that has brought us over here. But if we are present and if we are in touch, it doesn't matter whether we are digitally talking to them or physically talking. Yes, there's great upsides here in digitally when we connect to the world. Some upsides over there physically, like we can feel this aura around when we are talking to people in person. But if we are not present in that moment, then it is immaterial whether we are physical or digital. So that was my thought process when I actually saw what you had said, sir.
Right. Thank you for that.
You realize that's his job, right?
Exactly, that's what I said.
To sell more lines. right?
Yeah, exactly. Connecting people, but disconnecting. Okay, so it's time for table topics. And we call this particular table topic. It will be run by our rising star of WMC. He already made a Chappad entry in WMC family. He's almost, I guess, Toastmaster of the year. He's going to be. He's a coach and mentor by profession, candidate to win Toastmaster of the year. Disclaimer to all the table topic speakers, including me, pay extra attention to the grammar. May I call upon Toastmaster Emmanuel on stage to conduct the program.
Thank you, Toastmaster. I just don't understand how is it that I create this aura wherever I go that people get intimidated in some form or the other. Thank you for all the. I don't know what kind of connotation that was said in, but anyway. So before we get into our table topics and what are table topics, I'm going to just give you some trivia that I was putting together about this whole topic on digitally connected and physically disconnected. So, how many of you would have actually been here today if there was no technology involved in your life? How many of you would have been here at Toastmasters meeting today if there was no technology at all that you used to come here?
Very few.
Yeah. Right. Okay, so then there are chances that digital connections can make physical connections better. How many of you are most likely to ghost someone or not respond in digital media than you would do that rather than you would not do that in person, but you would do that in the digital media? You know what ghosting is, right? Like just don't respond, right? Turn off the blue ticks on WhatsApp, lolly backpics. I don't know when was your last seen. I don't want you to respond, no problem. So you have no accountability. How many of you would do that more easy? But would you walk into a face-to-face and just walk out of the person's face without saying hello or not responding? Yeah. So you see, there are so many things when you talk about the digital media in itself, right? Let's talk a little bit about some statistics over here. So in India, we have something, since most of us are Indians over here. In India, we have something called the WhatsApp University.
Yeah.
So, right. So there was a recent article that I read about last year, which said about 78% of the Indian population in the subcontinent believes that the news spread on WhatsApp is true.
Yes.
78% of 1.5 billion people actually think that WhatsApp is true. You ask your parents in a different generation, ask them, where do you read it? They'll be like, WhatsApp. It's true because it's on WhatsApp, right? They literally believe that it's the media, right? So about 100 billion messages are sent in a day only on WhatsApp, right? So that's a lot of data. You said emotional connections for non-limbs can be made only face to face. Tinder, Grindr, OnlyFans, come on, there's so much more that you can talk about. Those of you who don't know, go and explore yourself. Anyway, yeah, but there's a lot more that happens on those apps than actually, so I'm just joking. Right, so I'm just going to take you through a small PowerPoint presentation where we go through our table topics together. There was a pointer here that wasn't again.
Yeah, it's here.
Sorry. Thank you. So what are table topics? Does anybody want to volunteer to tell us what table topics are? You are the one. Okay, for the benefit of our members, new inductees, and all of you, respected Toastmasters, everybody, table topics are impromptu speeches that are one of the verticals in the Toastmasters, where we ask you to speak impromptu, where the topic is given to you at the spot, and you get about 60 seconds to prepare mentally to deliver the speech. how you perceive the topic and what is your stance on the topic, is what you take to be as table topics. There are 4 different verticals of speeches under Toastmasters, and table topics happens to be one of that. More often considered as an unprepared speech, because the challenges of public speaking, the most amount of the highest difficulty you actually face is through an impromptu speech, where it is an unstructured, rather unprepared speeches. So that's what table topics is all about. Right. So we're going to get into choosing about few people who can come forward and choose your topics. So you will be picking up random people from our crowd today, and we pick up few people who would come forward and speak on these impromptu topics that are more or less related to the theme today. So we probably will start with Toastmaster Panam. Why don't you come and start table topics for the scene? So you can choose a number. There are about 7 topics over here. Or the best. You can choose a number, and that will open up a question. 3. 3. Toastmasters. You just have to get with 3. Technology has made humans smarter or stupider? It said to take 60 seconds, so that's I think. Oh, yeah, and that's it.
10 seconds. I was wondering, my God, what are these days?
How many of you think when you were in school, you were really good in grammar? Now, after so many years, when you start writing in Word, you expect the MS Word to complete your sentence. For me, even it is stupid, I feel that it really helps me. Because if my English teacher would have seen me now, she'd say, how come you're a teacher now? You can also become a teacher. Thanks to MS Word and all those auto corrections, including my wife and daughter. The moment before I could start talking itself, they know what I'm going to say and what all mistakes I'm going to make, and they sit behind me and start correcting. So I don't know whether I'm already stupid or the technology is making stupid, but I could say that technology in many ways is helping me to do a better version of myself. Again, it depends on how you make use of your technology. Yes, you rely on technology, but I'm telling you, one day suddenly it will leave you. So you learn how to be independent as well, while enjoying the stupidity of the technology. Thank you so much.
I'm just going to reiterate on the timing part of it, which our timer, Toastmaster, said. It's basically 2-minute speeches, impromptu speeches. At 1 minute, the green light goes off. At 1.5 minutes, with 1 minute 30 seconds, the amber light goes on, and then at 2 minutes, the red light goes on, and you get 30 seconds to finish and wrap up your speech by that time. So, and it stays red consistently after that. So that's basically about our timings. So let's go to topic number 2. We have Abir. Why don't you come and speak to us? Choose the number. 3 has already been taken, so 6. as artificial intelligence takes over, human intelligence gets dimmer.
So in today's world, we all know that AI is a growing factor in every company or like in in our school itself, new subject has started like for artificial intelligence. So almost like after 15 years, maybe for an exam, the invigilator will not be a human. Maybe she'll be a robot. So actually, it's harder for the student that before they used to wait for the marks. They got like 30 days the gap, so they can enjoy it in their home. But now, like the marks are like very fast after for this AI. So for us, it will be really hard. Well, I'm so lucky that I finished my 12th. So, you know, in the future generations, it will be really hard for the children, and but it will be easy for many others, like big companies. For the companies, it will be very easy so that they can just hire robots instead of humans. So for robots, we don't need to give any wages or salary. So yeah, for the people, like for the people, it will be really hard because the level of, I mean, job development will be really low.
Well done, Pete. So, take on the next topic could be publishing. Three and six are taken.
Number 5.
Five. The increased use of digitally connected tools is a decreased use of emotional intelligence.
Actually, I think it talks about social media and other things, right? Yeah, right. Actually, today's discussion itself, all we're talking about physically disconnected and socially connected. So, about actually, I'm going blank. First of all, we can talk about emotional intelligence. What I have noticed is, like in our generation compared to our generation, our kids' generation, you know, they have a very lesser emotional intelligence. Okay, because you know they are emotionally unstable. If you look at, I can share example of my kids itself. If we talk about them, we are able to understand how emotionally unstable they are. Okay, so you know, the social medias they are using like Instagram. What I had, a few days ago, I had a conversation with one of our friend. Actually, they are going with a very bad, situation. Okay, what I have noticed is that wife is more into social media. He wanted to be a social influencer, in Instagram influencer, I should say. So you know, but she is not in the real world actually. So you know, if we talk, she's like she is expecting like if I post something, I should get more likes. So if I get more likes, I'm like top of the world. She's not you know into the reality what is going in her life itself. She's not able to understand that reality. Actually, she is 32 years old actually. Okay, so if you are comparing the younger generations with ourselves, it's very it's really their emotionally intelligence is very low. Okay, So what else is the question? Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Well done. Yes. For your debut speech, you've actually done very good justice. So well done to you. Let's give it a big hand again. Right, so emotional intelligence is just the capability of understanding how well you're emotionally rounded and the emotional well-being of the other party around you, or people around you, and behaving according to the situation. And that's exactly what emotional intelligence is about. Emotional intelligence is something that you work on through your social skills, through the shaping of your mindset. Unfortunately, many a times people become less intelligent emotionally because they don't understand how to connect with other people's emotions, be it happiness, sadness, empathy, stress, whatever, that everything that happens. So basically, but one thing is being emotional and being emotionally intelligent are completely different. So you'll have to read more about it to know about it. So let's have Kev, why don't you come for our table topics? So we've got 3, 5, and 6 are out. So you have 1, 2, 4, 7.
Yeah, I'll take two.
The inevitable use of technology in our lives has made it far more complicated and complex. Families and individuals thrive better without such advanced technology. What is your opinion?
Toastmasters, a few moments ago, when Toastmaster Emmanuel was telling us, I mean, he asked a question where he asked, did technology make us smarter or dumber? I was trying to think, when has technology ever made me feel smarter? Let's be honest, when our schools took up Zoom during 12th grade, I was the dumbest kid in the class. Maths, that was my favorite. Oh God, I was horrible at it. Simply because I just couldn't focus with all this upgrading technology, sitting from home and all. No, I wanted the old school way. I wanted to go to school, listen to my teachers, and get nicely from my chemistry teacher, get my ears pulled by my tuition teacher. That was what made me smarter. So yes, technology is a beautiful lie that we're all consuming. Now, coming from someone who goes to college as well as deals with adults every day, one thing I've noticed is all of my mates in my university, I hate to say it, but they're kind of dumb. They're all in the TikTok era. Like I ask a lot of my friends, okay, so what are you doing? What is this? Like, oh, I'm working on myself. What are you doing? Yeah, aesthetic edits on TikTok, you know the vibes. I'm like, bro, this is not what you should do when you're in your last semester of university. You have to build a mindset, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? To actually get good in life. What I feel is that technology, right? It's at such ease to us right now. These certain things might be easier for us. For example, we have Google. We can listen to audiobooks. We can do a lot more. But our younger generation isn't really into all of that. They're into all these aesthetic, weird edits, social media influencing, and everything else at such a worrying level. And yes, I strongly believe that our coming generation is going to be really dumb and stupid. Unless they have the brains of Mark Zuckerberg or someone else who make the best out of technology. This question is very true. It is, we need to have mindset to use technology, and that's pretty much it.
So I think with that, I would actually wrap up our table topics, given we've got only 15 minutes to and want to stick to the time. So thank you for the opportunity. Over to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Wonderful. And you have helped me in my job as well. You have thrown a lot of statistics. What is how to count to some extent, just discussing this, and we try to do it whenever we go out on a dinner. So at times kids used to complain, you're also looking at your phone. why don't you do that? So I'm just doing it these days. Wherever we go, we put all the foods together in one basket and then just talk to each other. So this is what I use as a trend. Happening in many places, even in our team meetings, we do that. Couple of all the phones we put together. I wanted to do that over here, but somehow very tired and I thought we are going for a break. So I'll do it after the break, but then this is what we do. This one way it's good, I feel. And also we do it because we tell them, whoever touches the phone first, he or she has to pay the bill. So so that's what we do, and then nobody look into their phone. That's where we get time to talk to each other and know them better, rather than speaking to the phone, and even though you're physically present, you are in the dinner table, but you are not connected with each other. And one aspect I've read about is the fear of no one listening, making us connected to machines. And we expect more from technology and less from each other. So we are talking about emotional intelligence, and that's very important these days in the corporate world. Everybody talks about it, and there are sessions run by the experts, and they bring them in, and it's made mandatory because we are losing the importance of emotional intelligence. And also, as Abir mentioned, it's AI is taking over everywhere. Automated auto provisioning, we call it, as in corporate world, most approvals are auto provision these things. Artificial intelligence, they understand what kind of access you require, and it is coming from once your client manager approves, it automatically goes over there and grants particular access to your application or whatever you wish to have it. So it's time for business session. May call upon our president. And I guess it's only 5 minutes given for the business session, and I didn't.
Madam Sergeant Advance, do you have anything to report this meeting? Very much. Mr. Treasurer? So he's all is safe. Everyone is paid. All right, thank you so much. Madam Secretary, if you can, she's acting on behalf of Norman, who is on holidays at the moment. So, Madam Acting Secretary, can we have the afternoon?
Good evening, all Toastmasters and guests. Meeting number 460 held on 7 April 2023. Sergeant Alarm Toastmaster Faculty welcome the house at 3:40 p.m. with friendly greetings and increase the distant Toastmasters with much nomination. Meeting was called to order. Agenda was adopted by Toastmaster Deputy Commander and seconded by Toastmaster Mukti Budegan. The theme of the meeting was reflections. President Toastmasters Kumar Swaminathan in his address discussed about the domino effect story in 2001. Visit from San Francisco exploratorium reproduced Whitehead's experiment by breaking 8 dominoes out of playroom. TMOD Toastmaster Emmanuel Williams took the meeting forward and increased the role players. Timer was Toastmaster Prabodha. Accounter was Toastmaster Puramala. Granary was Toastmaster Dave. In the experience section, Toastmaster Srinivas Swaminathan presented speech from level 4 project 2. He was evaluated by Toastmaster Yashodan Abelkar. The table topic section was conducted by DTM Surya Jerma. Upstairs by Toastmaster Priyanka, Toastmaster Murli, Toastmaster Bharati, Toastmaster Dave, Toastmaster Prabodha, and Toastmaster Purnamali. In business section was conducted, Excom gave their reports. The same discussed about our friends, if we have to prepare the articles or not for this particular term. 7 people raised their hands to prepare the articles for this particular term. Toastmaster Priyanka informed me that the points. The thing for submitting the electronic article is impossible. Gender evaluation was done by Toastmaster Abdul Rahis. Desktop tab Toastmaster Purnamala has started. Desktop thing Toastmaster Emmanuel. Desktop with the topics Toastmaster Priyanka. Total attendance 30. Meeting was adjourned at 5:58 p.m.
Is there any changes in the points? I think there's one change.
Yeah, correction, actually, we did have, my impossible as the first theme, but since I see no articles, we have to scrap it. And we're about to come up with a new one called Slice of Life. That'll be the new theme for the upcoming year.
So, Madam Secretary, if you can just update the theme to slice of life.
Yes.
Any other points?
That's it.
All right, if there's no other points with the change, can I request one of the members to adopt the minutes, please? All right, Toastmaster Abdul, thank you very much, and Toastmaster F for seconding the minutes. Thank you very much. For meeting number 461, if we would have mentioned minutes, then there would have been a lot of songs, which then should have been an audio minute file. So we have not recorded meeting number 461 officially. Madam, sorry, Mr. VPR, do you have anything to report?
Nothing really, just, I really recommend you all sending your articles to Slice of Life. Don't think of it as a very, you know how Abdul Rahim told, make it easy. I'm going to make it easy for you. You know how you text people on WhatsApp, you can always shoot me a text, hi Jeff, I'm going to send you maybe a paragraph for my article. I'll send you the upcoming paragraphs whenever I get ideas. I will accept it. I'll be more than happy to accept it. So you can do that.
What are we supposed to write about?
You're supposed to write about the funniest moments in your life. The most funniest ones. That is what Slice of Life means. So yeah, you can write articles based upon your funniest moments. It could be at work, with your friends, your family. It's as easy as possible, you know. Just remember thoughts, moments, and type them out. I will not mind it.
Thank you very much.
That's it.
Yes, this will be the final words for this. That's right. So, speaking membership, I think we have.
Hi. Good evening. Really been a very good day for my role because I had 3 new members of this board. In fact, I was expecting 5. We have one more Toastmaster, who left to Dubai this morning. Otherwise, he would have been the 4th. And there is another guest who will come a couple of times. He was supposed to come in as well today to be, as he walked in, if he walks in, I will induct him right away.
Thank you very much. With that, our club strength, sir. 27 without the last gentleman.
The last one, 26.
Thank you very much. Yes. 27. Madam Vice President Education, your report, please.
Good evening, everyone. So we are in the last quarter of our term, but the race for the Toastmaster of the quarter and year continues. So I'll quickly read out the results. At position 3, we have Toastmaster Emmanuel, our hero. At 2, we have our very own VP membership. It's taken up roles in every meeting. Thank you so much. And the leader so far, any guesses? The youngest hero of our club, Toastmaster Kevin. Thank you all for participating. The race continues. We have another 2 meetings to go. And we found the AGM.
No, AGM is. This is Toastmaster of the quarter. Toastmaster of the year.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, madam. And a couple of points to be added. We will be, sorry, you have something to say? I think I just wanted to have a quick correction on that. What you announced was Toastmaster of the quarter. Toastmaster of the year is slightly different. Now, this is the combination of all quarters. Again, for new members, nothing complicated. If you take the role of a grammarian or a timer or an accountant or anything, you all get different scores. It goes on from there. So Toastmaster of the year is an accumulation of Toastmaster awards. So that's like the Gala award, the Toastmaster of the year. So graphs are behind you. You can actually see the points.
You want me to read out?
We exceeded 5 minutes.
Yeah.
My apologies. And just 2 quick points, we will be appointing the audit committee for the year. Mr. Levin, who has always been our eternal auditor, will be taking on the finances and will present his report in the AGM. Next week, next Friday, we have the district contest coming up. And that is the highest order for certain level of speeches, such as humorous speech, table topics, and for evaluation district goes all the way. That's the highest level contest. And then international goes beyond that. From WMC this year, we have Toastmaster Yashodan, who is going to represent WMC. Contest of humorous speech. I believe most of us have heard his speech in the last family day. So that is the speech that he's going to present in the contest. So these were the 2 quick announcements. Is there any, the forum is open? Do we have any further questions? Ladies and gentlemen? Ladies and gentlemen?
No.
All right, thank you very much. Back to you, Sir.
Thank you. It's okay, we have done 15 minutes behind the schedule.
Is it 15 minutes?
Yes.
All right, so may I request an extension of 15 minutes, please? Can I request someone to? Yeah, Toastmaster, okay, thank you very much, and Toastmaster.
I guess we are setting the precedent. We are going before the break on time. After the break, somewhere we are going wrong. But and even like I said, expectation to be paid on the business session 5 minutes is too less.
No, there was no plan. There was some reasons.
So I'll move quickly to the next session. That is the evaluation. And to get the feedback for the entire meeting. I'll call upon the general evaluator. He's a management professional and we witnessed his amazing organizational management skills in the family day event. He currently serves as managing director of a multinational company. He loves meeting people, new people, and exploring new cultures through his travel. He believes that communication plays a vital role in personal and professional success. Over to you, general evaluator.
So Toastmaster of the day, President, fellow Toastmasters and honored guests, a very warm good evening. As a general evaluator, it is my pleasure to evaluate the whole meeting. My role is to evaluate the meeting, all the speakers as well as the meeting, all meeting those all happen in the meeting. So to start with, before I invite the evaluator, I would like to have the timers report. The formal speech, performance of the, I think, 22 minutes, 25 seconds. Okay, so it's on, right? Yeah, and all the other, yes. Okay, that we will come back to. All right. Thank you, Toastmaster Nobby. So to evaluate our prepared speech, Toastmaster Abdurrahim's speech, I would like to invite DTM Red Hub.
Make it easy. Be consistent. Messages that came to us from a gentle giant. General evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, my speaker in particular. It was his engaging humor, drawing our attention to himself and to ourselves, that fascinated me about this speech. That he came unassuming, and then brought on a topic that made us think. He threw questions at us, and he made us think that is it possible to break habits? When we struggle with so many addictions, as per the theme of the day, with digital connections, social media, the number of habits that we have accumulated, how easy are they to drop? He gave us an insight into that in a very specific way by asking us questions, making us think, and really making us realize that it may not be easy, but it is not impossible. So to that extent, Abdul Rahim's speech here was in effect a kind of motivational speech that made us think. What did the project actually want him to do? It said, you have to deliver a keynote speech. We were kindred spirits in the sense that having done the same project and having to last 22 minutes out here, which is not a joke, throat gets parched and you're struggling. I must say that he did a good job of lasting out here and we should be away. But was it a keynote speech? That's where my disappointment came, that I wanted an inspirational journey, to witness an inspirational journey whereby he had arrived at that message so that it would make me feel that it is possible, that I can do it as well because he did it. I felt that that lacked in his speech, and because he started the introduction in such a passive, unassuming way, I didn't even realize he had started a speech. It made me think, when is the speech going to start? So, as a speaker, I would have liked to have seen a more powerful person or his own personality emerge out here as a keynote speaker. But still, it is going to be one of the speeches that will remain with us as we move out of here. Back to you, General.
Thank you, Aditi and Rekha, for a very insightful evaluation. So let's move on. The next session is, I would like to evaluate the whole set of the meeting. So starting with Sergeant at Arms. Being bouncer of the club. Toastmasters did a great job. Everything set right, all were in order, and even the induction ceremony she took the control of the new members. Very good job, well done. Thank you. And the next one is our president. The president's speeches, it's like a chocolate box with many varieties of chocolates. Until you taste it, you will not know the real taste what it is. So, and I would like to also suggest or give a recommendation, a personal recommendation is if the president starts the opening speech coming onto the podium and looking everyone into their eyes, and then start with a power-packed energy. I mean, it is there, but he was delivering from the podium, so it would have been more effective. This is what I felt. And the second one is that I consider the president as the CEO of this meeting or of this club. So he should be sitting in a respected place always. If if the presidential chair is there, and he should assign somebody else to handle the IT gadgets. This is what I personally feel. Otherwise, it is better to keep the presidential that small bow here, so that. Yeah. And the next is TM Moody. What a wonderful team he has chosen today. And he could connect everybody with this special team, digitally connected and physically disconnected. And I think almost everyone used or gone through that thought process. It started way before the club meeting, through the WhatsApp group. So, and he's like a traffic cop, the managing the traffic or moving the people going in the right direction. That is the primary role. He did an excellent job, and please give him a round of applause. The next one is our speaker, Toastmaster Abdul Rahim. We have heard a very effective evaluation, and I also felt the same. So I am sure he will be taking all this in a positive way, in a constructive way, and will be improving, in going forward. And the next one is our evaluator, DTM Rekha Uttam. She also performed very well. I was watching from the podium, and she always shows us, the right way to do such evaluation very positively. But there will be, the critical points she is highlighting always for the improvement of the speaker, and it's very well done. Thank you. And the next role was for table topic master, Toastmaster Emmanuel, conducted an awesome table topics. He's proven his creativity and ability to come with new innovative ideas. The way he presented the table topics, it was all done. And I only felt that took a little bit more time because of the presentations and and he was explaining also his topics in detail so that everybody could connect with that. And initially he was putting his hand in the pocket initial sessions, but generally it is considered as uncomfortable. But then later he was very well, with open hand, he was presenting all these sessions. I noticed that both in case of TMOD and table topics master, when somebody is speaking on the, in front of the audience, please avoid walking around. It's not only them, but any member. So that will distract the people who are, speaking in front of the audience. Then my other team, tag team, Timer. Nobin did an excellent job, and he is a very experienced timer, I think, in this club. So he did a fantastic job. Thank you. And before we go into that, I would like to ask the report from the timer for the remaining table topics and the evaluation.
So 3 minutes 12 seconds. Table topics section, Toastmasters Club, 1 minute 28 seconds. Now just Mr. Abir, 1 minute 35 seconds. Toastmasters 2 minutes 8 seconds. Toastmasters 1 minute 54 seconds.
So all are equal. Yeah, thank you so much. And the next role taken was our accountant, Toastmaster. I call him Yash. So I was looking for the full name. Yeah. So I would like to request his report, please.
Thank you very much. Lot of Toastmasters used these filler words and sounds, but I must say that we never got distracted or annoyed with those little words and figures. So I would say that they were all within the limits. But just to give you a warning, these are within the limits and you should not cross these limits. I'm just gonna read out.
Sure.
Yes.
Toastmaster Sukumar, Padma Shri, Emmanuel, Murli, all of them used around 5 to 10 hours in this form. And then I've chosen 3 Shaktiyabur characters. The first one is from the movie Bol Rata Bol. Allah Re Allah, Inspector Bende Allah. So Inspector Bende of the day is Toastmaster Owen. 4 eunuchs and 5 souls. And the second one, Prime Master Gogo. Is none other than Toastmaster Roy. Till now, 17 hours. 5 eunuchs. And why he is in this list? Because when he answered one question, very small, in that he used 4 souls. And one good thing about him, 2 words like it's and he used as a repeated word, but again, as I said in the very beginning, they were in that flow. So you are okay. The hero. Shall I say hero or hero? Hero. So who is that? Well, he surprised as all of you. He has used one word in his speech 25 times.
Oh my God.
That's the word so. But again, we never got disturbed or annoyed with that word. We can just warn him that don't overuse it so that we'll start doing it. This is my report. Thank you.
Thank you for the wonderful report. The next is grammarian. Our grammarian today is Toastmaster Panambalam. He is very kindled with the English language and he is catching this grammar mistake probably faster than cheetahs catching its prey. So, Mr. Panambalam, your report.
Good evening once again. The word of the day was used by 4 people. General evaluator once, was Aditya Rekha, Toastmaster Abdul Rahim, and Owen. I'm sorry if any of them missed anything. Coming back to the good usage, we are all very keen in looking for good words so that we can copy and use it later again. But in WNC Toastmasters, it's like standing in front of a machine gun. Before you note it down, the next one is coming. Especially with Toastmaster Sukumar and Toastmaster Abdul Rahim. So I could manage to write something. What I liked was, and I would like to use it in my speech or whenever I'm doing a role, no less than wonder. And appropriately, guess what was frequently used, just reasonably used to engage with the audience. So to effectively use the pause and to engage with the audience, was constantly using guess what. So it's a wonderful way to involve. And Toastmaster Owen, I like when you said rabbit hole of mindless scrolling. So that's something which we like. And Toastmaster Abdul Rahim quickly had a breakup with the leg turn. Weight is the result of lacking eating habit. The bend of the road is not the end of the road. There is no season for habit forming. And finally, what I like the most is comfort zone is the most uncomfortable space to live in. And they can become the gentle giant. And president's speech is like a chocolate. That is something which thank you so much. Rohit.
Thank you. And there are some more observations in general. The first one is, for, the posters of the word of the day. I think Toastmaster Panandal was busy in the previous session, so he did the last moment after 6 p.m. But we could have done that exactly. And then meeting started 8 minutes late, and we are running probably because of that 15 minutes late. We are running. And I would like to quickly get to explanation from a mentor's role. So we know that even now the new members have joined, and there are many very new mentees also there. So I would like to ask Toastmaster Abdurrahim to explain in 3 sentences what a mentor should do.
And we have new members who are joining Toastmasters. A mentor should be able to guide, empower, inform, encourage, inspire his member. And wherever necessary, he should be able to tell them what not to do and what to do in Toastmasters. For example, the SRP and this thing that I don't think he should be available all the time. He has his own time. So the mentee and mentor both should have a good coordination. At the same time, the mentor is also learning from the mentee. Not only the mentee learning.
All right, thank you so much, Toastmaster. So this is just to ensure that all of the Toastmasters here, going in the right path, and it's been monitored by the mentors, and appreciate and encourage them to become progress in their Toastmaster journey. And also, I would like to ask probably the president, what is the dress code for our Toastmasters?
The recommendation, earlier there used to be a lot of emphasis on formal dress code. But nowadays, with the vibrance of Toastmasters moving to the next generation, smart casuals is fine. Over the top casuals is not fine. If my VP here, I'm sure he's going to a rally, not to a meeting. So, so that's as much if I can recommend for everybody.
And also, I would like to know that whether a jacket should be worn or a shoe should be worn. Is there anything such in or WMC club? Is the
Smart casual,
smart casual
means that formal shoes.
or casual shoe, or with jacket or without jacket also it's fine.
Without jacket is fine, but
But is a t-shirt is any color of t-shirt is fine.
That smart casuals include t-shirts and collar t-shirts.
And jacket.
Collar t-shirts.
If you're wearing
But
so and
the
if you
jacket-
Smart casual, so.
because we want to set as a high quality, decorum and the culture.
And if you're playing a role, definitely formal, maybe that's important, like you're giving a speech.
Right.
You shouldn't be in casual, smart casual.
Unless of course we've got these themes that keep going around, right? So I think that's, then we have these themes. Yeah.
So in nutshell, if everybody wears, including a jacket, could be a good.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, so then in a bad
And that's all from my observations of the overall meeting. And I would like to conclude with just to emphasize what Toastmaster Abdurrahim said, that we have to come out of the comfort zone. The life begins beyond the comfort zone. So let's all come out of the comfort zone and learn and grow together in this Toastmasters meetings. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Roy, for that wonderful general evaluation.
The polls are underway.
And we generally,
Schools are on.
okay, polls are on, so you may go ahead and accordingly. And we generally bother more about people in online, wishing them happy birthday than the person next to each other. And most of the time these days, WhatsApp groups that helps us. And that becomes some sort of people, I don't know how to say it. Just for the sake of wishing people wish as well, that I've noticed. And compliment is basically given face to face added value rather than online as such. And few pointers before you go for the day. Face to face communication benefits. And as well, the Project Management Institute says, any ideas how much, what percentage of our communication is verbal according to Project Management Institute? 40. No, it's only 7%. Only 7% is verbal. 38% is conveyed through quality of voice tone, volume, speed and pitch, and 55% is through posture, movement, gestures. So that's a facial expression, breathing and skin color changes. None, yes. So you may just look at these points. I'm not going to repeat that. This is the last yarn for the day from the sponsor. So hope you all enjoyed the meeting. Time to say sign off. Hasta la vista, bye, and President. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, today for the engaging session. Madam Vice President Education, are the polls ready? It's all right, excellent. But before we go there, may I request some feedback from one of our guests? You've seen us in action. Sir, what do you like about the whole experience? What did you find wow? What did you find strange? Whatever comes to your mind.
I like the fact that everyone was talking to each other when you are playing itself. Then I think that will build the communication skills in me if I go forward with this. Yeah, even I like the various tactics or programs which is conducted here. Like for example, the table topic it gave me an experience like so
Great, thank you. Having said that, it's time in the evening where we award heroes and Madam Vice President Education heroes. That's writing for it. All right. I think while she's kind of completing, 2 points that I wanted to touch upon based on the feedback. There is a reason why the presidents go behind the lectern, and the reason is that precisely what you mentioned in terms of the position being recognized, and there is a recommendation that we go behind the lectern. So while that's not a rule, it is a recommendation. So sometimes you will see me coming and prancing around in the front and sometimes standing at the back. So that was just one thing. And the second thing. I really like that. And the other one, we spoke about the dress code, and I again want to reiterate that we should all work on the dress code. But smart casuals is the order of the day. It is fine if there is a t-shirt that is worn, but a jacket is worn on top of that. And we would request all of us to kind of think before we actually come over. Maybe it will help us think in a different opinion. At the end of the day, like what Rahim said, it is all about building nice habits. So, may I request Madam Vice President Education to come forward? It's your show. The General Evaluator. Mr. General Evaluator, if you can come forward. Yes. Toastmaster, right. And Toastmaster today, please. All right, so these were the 3 people Vice President Education always works behind the show. Toastmasters of the day runs the show, and the general evaluator keeps the peak. The best of tag. The best of tag award goes to none other than Toastmaster Yashodan Abhyar. All right, so best of. I'll keep this to a little later. Best of the best speaker, there's no guesses, but you still have to come on stage. Because not many times that we actually complete the speech on time, so well, it's an achievement, but I am myself. And to find strings in a silk string is a talent, and the best evaluator award goes to the person who actually found strings on the silk string. A breakout. Thank you. The best of three. Toastmaster of the day, general evaluator, table topics master. And I think today is a record. All right. Toastmaster, I'll talk about the record later. But Toastmaster Owen Craster, who's on the stage, best award. This is like the David V. Goliath story, and that's what I wanted to say. Not to steal the limelight away from him, but he actually managed to beat Toastmaster Iman, but who has walked away every meeting with one certificate. In the first meeting, the true contest today that happened was the table topics contest, because we did have competition, and the best table topics commentator goes to Mr. Adib.
No, he's not spelling it.
It's wrong.
Yeah, up there.
Yeah. Yeah, he can receive a certificate, and we will actually issue him a certificate. When I saw the. No, there's one more. There's one more. So this is a special award, and this is the Toastmaster of the Quarter Award. This is the Toastmaster Quarter for quarter 3. Priyanka was talking about quarter 4, and then there is a Toastmaster of the Year. So those two are coming later. Now the Toastmaster of the Quarter for quarter 3, which is January to March. Any guesses?
Murali.
Toastmaster. So, Madam Vice President Education.
But within the committee, this is rigged here.
In the committee, in the committee, the president and the VP Education are excluded. Others have a fair chance, because that is her program, and
Good job.
I think, and this your boss. So like all good things that have to come to an end, we are 3 minutes later than 6:45. I think it is time. Yes, sir. Sorry.
I want to say 1 second.
Oh,
Yeah. Open to time, Toastmaster, yes, Toastmaster Murali and DTM Korea for joining as a judge for Gavel's contest today. And we conducted it very successfully today. And one more thing, looking forward for more judges for the 19th.
Thank you, sir. Point is well noted. And just one more thing on, to add to Toastmaster Gunnar, there is a plan for a joint meeting with Gavel. 300 meeting of Gavels will happen with us. So there's going to be cultural gala celebration, more food over here as well for all of us, and a much bigger hall with a much bigger attendance. 2nd of June is the plan. Having said that, I call this meeting by, I can see really high. There you go. Have you not been out joyful?
Bye.
That was, yeah, it was, yeah, of course, Well, then 14, you went this. You went this. Stop the recording. Hey.